All right, I'm going to just go ahead and get started. We'll just let people hop on when they do. So, first of all, thank you so much for being here tonight. I appreciate your time. My friend Brenda is actually going to speak to. We're going to share our stories and just give a little bit of, how we got started in this and just share our stories, basically. So, let me just introduce myself. My name is Denise Geese, and I'm a 55-year-old. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a grandmom, I'm non-college educated. I've kind of flown through life by the seat of my pants. Life has kind of just happened for me. I was a really young mom. Um, so, I always wanted to be home with my children. That was something that was really important to me. And I've never been the traditional 9 to 5 kind of person. That's just who I am. Like I said, I wanted to be home with my children. So I've kind of always done every kind of odd job you can imagine my whole life. I've done crafts, I've painted, I've waitressed, I've done caregiving. I've even cut grass. Like I've done everything you can think of to make money. It's just how I've always been. Like I said, I kind of always valued my freedom. So I always felt like if I did these jobs, I could sort of, do my other life when I wanted to, be there for my kids, just have that time freedom. But what I found with that too is those kind of jobs are always kind of temporary. You never know where money is going to come from. And then also the other thing that I struggled with is that I struggled with chronic pain, and a lot of these jobs were very, very physical. So I just found that I was struggling more and more as time was going on. Like I said, I'm 55 years old, and for probably at least 15 years, I really, really struggled even more so with chronic pain and just struggling to get through life like I was used to. And I guess it was around 4.5 years ago. Actually, it's probably 5 years ago now, because it was right around this time 5 years ago that I got diagnosed with a connective tissue disorder. I finally got an answer to what the heck was wrong with me. I knew that I was struggling with the chronic pain. I struggled to walk. I struggled with so many different things. And it was really hard because I've always been a really active person. And I just worried, like I remember kind of crying to my husband saying, I know something's wrong, but I just don't know what it is. I can't seem to get an answer. I went to doctor after doctor. Mostly with my feet and ankles is where I struggled. I mean, I've had shots, I've had injections in my feet. I've worn braces on my feet. I've had the boot, like I've done so many different things you couldn't imagine. Like I sprained my ankles more times than I can ever count. And when I got that diagnosis, it was really hard because I finally got validation, but at the same time it was like crap, like now what? Because there's really nothing you can do for it other than modify your life and manage the pain. And so I knew that I could get on like a pain management kind of thing, but I've always been more into natural things. I never really wanted to go down the whole medication route. So basically I was on a regimen of over the counter stuff just to get through my day. Like I would take a leave in the morning, a leave at night, and Tylenol throughout the day, just literally to get through my day. But did I feel good? No, not at all. Like I was tired. Chronic pain can really wear you down. Like you really, like I never felt great. Like I remember even like walking, it was difficult. And I remember doing some of these hard jobs that I did. For a while, I even cleaned houses. And I remember leaving, especially on a Tuesday, like I remember leaving this one house, and that was a particularly large house, and it was really difficult. And I remember like making the choice, do I want to stop and pick up a gallon of milk that I needed, and I talked myself out of it. I'd be like, no, I can do without it. I don't need it. Because I literally didn't want to walk out of my car and walk into the store. It felt like that was a marathon. That's at the point that I was. And I guess like I said, I got that diagnosis and I started researching and stuff like that just to see what I could do to help myself. And that's when, CBD started coming into the mainstream world and you started hearing more about it. But I didn't know much about it. I didn't know where you even got it or anything like that. So my friend started posting on Facebook about CBD, like she had, and this is somebody that I knew and trusted. And she had not, I mean, she just got it and she was starting it herself. And I was like, where'd you get it? Where did you find that? And so, she told me it was a company that she got it from. And it was funny because I just started talking about it to some of my friends. Like I'm a big line dancer, so I like to joke that I'm the girl that loves to dance with broken feet. And that was another thing too. Like line dancing is my passion, and that was another thing that I was always missing out on because I would go, but I can tell you, I would sit out a lot more than I would dance because it just hurt so much. And it's just awful when you start picking and choosing in your life what you want to enjoy. But anyway, so I started telling some of my line dance friends about like, hey, I'm going to try the CBD. And just that easily, just by telling other people, I had like my first order. And my friend who I signed up with the other company, which by the way, like I never thought in a million years that I would be doing network marketing. It's never anything that's been on my radar. I just shared it. A couple of my friends, we put together a combination order together. And then my friend actually paid my $20 sign up fee with this other company. And I didn't even understand what it was all about. But I started like slowly just talking about it. I never really checked out the comp plan there or anything like that. And, I just wanted to feel better. And that's what happened. I started feeling better, like slowly but surely, like my life started coming together. I was feeling better. I could walk. I was sleeping better. I actually didn't even realize that I had anxiety issues. Like I used to wake up at 4:00 in the morning on the dot, and I would stress about everything under the sun. And I never realized that that was actually anxiety and that was a problem that I was dealing with. And so I started sleeping through the night. I used to not be able to walk when I would wake up. My feet and ankles would be so stiff that I couldn't even take steps. I would have to hold on to things. And that started slow. Like the funny thing about CBD is it's such a gradual thing. It's not like, at least in my experience, I know some people get very quick results. Everybody's different. But for me, it took a while of me taking it, and slowly things just started getting better and better and better. And so I guess I was in the business probably about 9 months, and I was kind of just doing it, just whatever, like I'd tell people and some people would buy from my site, but I never really understood the value of network marketing until at the end of the year, I was comparing what my friend who had taken the bull by the horn, so to speak, and ran with it. And then here I was just kind of telling people, I guess like I always had it in the back of my mind. Oh, I don't want to sell to people, but I didn't realize honestly that just by speaking and sharing, you're not doing a disservice, because I'm so thankful that somebody told me. I mean, it was life-changing for me. So now I look at it that way, that if you can change somebody's life by sharing stuff with them, why wouldn't you want to do it? I'm so grateful for it. So anyway, I looked at the end of the year, and I think I made like $600 for the whole year. Like we started in March, so this was at the end of the year. I made about $600 and made like $1,000, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, here's the girl that does every job you can think of to make money, and this opportunity is literally sitting on my lap, and I didn't even think that, like I wasn't taking advantage of it. So I was like, all right, life change again. I'm going to start promoting. So I made my Facebook profile public. I started following people that were successful. And I started doing what they were doing and watching what they were doing and learning about as much as I could about everything, and just promoting myself and all that stuff. And next thing I know, I started building a team. And I was able in a few months in that company to hit the first rank, the first big rank that you earn. And I was really excited, really proud of myself. And, I was happy in that company for a while. And then I guess I felt a bit stagnant there. I did like the products, but I just felt like I did feel like there was something missing. And so when Navon came into my life, I literally wasn't looking for it at all. I was trying to figure out ways to improve my team, grow in the company that I was in. And one night while I was on a Zoom with friends, my friend Crystal said, "Oh, there's an opportunity. Let's check out this. I've been talking to this girl. You wouldn't believe this company." And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, this is not what we're talking about. We are talking about trying to figure out how we can help our team, not how we can join another company. And when I watched the opportunity, it was a Monday night opportunity call. It was Trey Knight, our CEO here at Navon, who did that call. And I was just blown away. Like, I was shocked at so many things. Like, I had heard of zeolites. But I didn't, again, it was another one of those things. I didn't know where to get it. I had heard about it. It sounded awesome. And to me, to be honest, like, I felt like this was the missing piece that we needed. Like, I noticed with CBD, when I was working with people, like, a lot of times they would get some relief, but I felt like something was just missing. And when I heard about zeolites and how you can clean out your body first, and then all your supplements are going to work better, like, I was just like, sign me up. Like, I want to be on board with this. And I was just, I did ask a lot of questions. Brooklyn can attest to that. I was very much a question. I think I spent about 5 days. And part of it was because I did have a team and I couldn't make a decision. I felt like I had to, because I knew that if I told the team about this new opportunity, I wanted to have all the information. I wanted to know that I was making a good decision. The other thing that I really loved was the comp plan. The comp plan was so simple and so basic. That was one thing that I could, that was really hard with the other company that I was in. And I'm grateful for that company, believe me, because I feel like that was the stepping stone to get me here. Sometimes you have to see something, you have to be part of something to see what could be better, So with that comp plan at that other company, it was like, I think I watched a 1 hour long video 4 times to try to wrap my head around how that worked. And it was, I got it, but then to try to explain that to like new people was so hard. Like, it was just really, really difficult. And, I was just like, this is it. This is the comp plan here. It's that easy. It's that simple. It's that lucrative. Are you crazy? Like, so I felt like when I looked at Navon, it was like everything I was looking for all in one perfect little package. And so the more that I learned about the other products too, the Restore Minerals, how beneficial they are, because mineral deficiency is also a huge thing. And we've been expanding the product line since. We've added the skincare, we've added the energy drinks, which are amazing. Love those. I had been looking for something with those ingredients. I didn't know all of the ingredients with the energy drink, but I knew like chaga was something that I really wanted to get involved with, because chaga is so beneficial for so many things. Another thing that I've suffered with the condition that I have, you can have other comorbidities. And I've noticed since I've been using the products here at Navon too, I used to always suffer with heart palpitations, because you can have problems with your autonomic system or whatever. And I don't have that anymore. Also, temperature regular, like my body temperature has always been and this has been my whole life. Like, it's not, I know I'm like menopause age, and I used to suffer from night sweats, but I used to always suffer from, and this has been going on since probably my mid 20s, where my temperature would just fluctuate all the time. You know, like I would just always have problems with that. And I don't have those issues anymore. I love the HGH too. Like that's just, I just love everything here. I love the quality. I love the transparency, all the third party testing that they have. Like that kind of stuff is really, really important to me. I love that you can see all that stuff on the website. It's the other thing too that I think that can't even like express enough is the community and all of the just the value that I get in my life every day. So I joined, like I said, it's going to be coming up on a year actually. I joined on January 24th, and right from day one, like I felt like it was like these open arms that just welcomed me in. And that was something that I was also missing in my other company. Like I felt like a number over there. I felt like you know, it's not like you have to have somebody like push you or do this or that, but you want to feel like you're part of something. And I never really felt like I was part of anything there, you know, like it was very competitive, and I don't like to badmouth, but it was very competitive when I went to their big convention, which was awesome. Like they had awesome speakers. The experience was fantastic. But one thing I noticed was if you weren't on somebody's team, like nobody really would talk to you or whatever, because you didn't, I guess, I don't know why, maybe because you didn't affect their paycheck or whatever. But when I've gone to any events here at Navan, I've been to two. I've been to the launch in March, and I went to one of the smaller corporate events in November. And any time that I need any help with anything, we have Christy, who's our holistic nurse that we like to say. And so like if I have any kind of medical questions, she's always so helpful to me. Like, you know, I've had people ask, you know, is this going to interfere with medications that I'm on or this or that? And she'll like, you know, tell me what they're using or whatever. And we can talk to the biochemist that's, you know, with the zeolites. I mean, we can't give any medical advice or anything like that, but we can, or medical claims, we can just share our experiences. But I just love, like, everybody's so helpful. Everybody, it's like one big family. And like I said, I went to the launch in March, and was right after that I got home, that, you know, COVID nightmare hit and quarantine and all that kind of stuff. And I can honestly say that through that whole thing, I have never really felt alone. You know, like every day we connect with people, every day we connect with this Navan family. We check in on each other. There's trainings, there's self-development. I feel like I've grown so much as a person internally since I joined this company too. Like it's incredible to me, the changes that I've made in myself, in learning to believe in myself and all that. And I guess one of the big things too that I'm really proud of also was, like I said, I was kind of stuck in that other company, and I couldn't seem to get to the next rank that I wanted to get to, which was 10K. Like I had my eye on that for so long, and I just couldn't get there. And when I joined Navan, I joined the end of January. And then in February, last year was LEAP. So we had 29 days to get there, luckily, but it was still a short month. But in 29 days, our team went Sapphire, which I was just so freaking amazed. I still have sitting on my desk. Because I got it at launch. I just set up my desk. I got my little Sapphire thing that I got from there, which was awesome. That launch was amazing because we, you know, got to meet Trey and all that, got to go up on stage. It was just really sweet and really fun. And hearing other people's stories there, hearing how these products have impacted lives, you know, and the people that I brought over here from my team, the Oliveris are one of them, if anybody knows them. And Lou has such an amazing testimony. I mean, he was not able to walk or bend over either. He was looking at a bilateral hip replacement, and the results that he got, let me just say this, like, it just warms my heart. Like I can't even express knowing how you're impacting and changing lives. Like that to me it made me realize and find my true purpose, my true calling, to get texts and calls from people saying how you change their lives, whether it's financially, whether it's their health, whether it's both. Like, it's literally the perfect package. You can't even express like how it feels to feel that way. And with Brenda, so Brenda, she came on board just a few months ago, and she watched one of the opportunities too, and I'll let her share some of her story. And because your testimony too is pretty incredible, and now you're sharing a little bit about your mom too, which is pretty awesome. So anyway, Brenda, I'd like to have you share.
Yeah, well, I don't really know where to start. I'm kind of like you, Denise. I think that's why I resonate with you so well, because I share a lot of I have a lot of common ground with you when it comes to where I started out as a younger person, just taking any job opportunity that came. Um, I live in a rural area, and I could have moved to the city to probably have found a job, but I married young, had a child young, and decided to stay in the environment that I was the most comfortable in, which was the rural area. And I did raise a son. And sadly, unfortunately, my husband at the time was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at the age of 24. And that led us down a very long and disappointing road. And about that time, I started thinking about, well, there's got to be something besides pharmaceuticals, because obviously he wasn't doing well with them. And honestly, they had him on a cocktail, you know. We're going to get it. We're going to find something that works for you, Um, they just really had him, if you can imagine, any worse, and then they get non-compliant. They get where, well, they mess me up. I don't really want to take them anymore. So it was a battle. All the while, I began to discover I had some digestive issues, which undoubtedly probably had a lot to do with the environment that I was living in. I managed to get through those most of those times. I was on a prescription drug for them for acid reflux for a long time. And it finally progressed to a point where even that wasn't working anymore. So that's when I really made a big trip into alternative ways of dealing with it. And I can say that I was successful with that. It, or at least, I mean, my life improved just from doing some simple things that I researched online. But all the time, I've been involved in multi-level marketing in some way, shape, or form, but I didn't hang with it very long because, number one, there wasn't any team to work with. So it was very difficult to figure out things that you obviously needed to be taught. And it just wasn't available. So I kind of got disillusioned with that. I've tried to market several things, water ionizers, water filters. And then I just kind of canned it, for a while. I just went back to whatever job I could pick up and do. And then lo and behold, a friend of mine come along one day and she started talking to me about CBD. And this was like 3 years ago. And it was a new thing. I mean, I had been reading some about it, but like Denise, I didn't really know a lot about it. And she got me really pumped up about it. She had met a woman on Facebook that had just gotten into it. And she was talking about how wonderful it was and how it had helped her husband, who had some type of headaches. They weren't migraines, but honestly, I can't tell you the name of the headache condition. But after her husband had been on it for quite some time, he noticed positive results and ended up going off his meds. So during this time, I didn't really ask a lot of questions. I just joined. I joined, and it just so happened to be the same company Denise was in. And I was really excited about it. The first year I did fairly well. I mean, my team didn't, make any um, big monumental moves or anything, but, we were all giddy about it and we were doing pretty well. My first year, I was pretty proud of myself, actually. After several attempts at multi level marketing, this was the closest thing that I had ever achieved to any kind of success with it. And my second year into it, I didn't do quite as well, but I was still making money and I was totally grateful for that extra money too, by the way. I mean, it buys a week's worth of groceries. It buys that new pair of shoes. This is money you wouldn't have, if you hadn't been doing it. But I don't really have any excuse other than it seemed like most of the training groups that I were in were Facebook based, and so many people were doing them. There were other people letting you join their teams, and they were, giving you some good tips and stuff. But overall, I think I got disillusioned with it because I just didn't feel like I had a group of people like nearly like what I have here. I mean, this is phenomenal. But sadly, I was still dealing with health issues, and CBD did help me a lot. I know where it's helped me. I continue to take it. I'm a big believer in CBD. One of the biggest things it did for me was it strengthened my bladder, which, that took about maybe 3 to 4 months to actually notice that. It was actually a customer of mine at the time that she told me about that she said, it's not helping me with my pain that much, but it's definitely helped me there. And I said, that's really cool because now that you said that, now I know it's done that for me too. It was just like, I knew it helped me with my sleep. I mean, I noticed results within the first week of just taking CBD that I was sleeping better. I thought I was sleeping okay, but I was just blown away. When I could lay down and sleep for 5, 6 hours in one fell swoop and not even wake up, you know, I that was huge. And so I probably have underlying anxiety problems. I'm sure I do. And I can tell that CBD really kind of helps keep that in check always. Um, how I found the bond though, I had surgery a year ago and it was quite a condition. I had a total hysterectomy and I had a calcified fibroid tumor on my right ovary. And they put me through quite a few tests, quite a few scares, run every cancer test they could run on me. And luckily, there was no cancer. Yes, very thankful for that. And the digestive issues I was going through was just chronic belly aches. Sometimes they weren't too bad, and other times they were debilitating. I mean, and they always came right after I ate. Sometimes it would be as soon as 30 minutes after I consumed a meal, and sometimes it would take up to an hour. But once they came, I had no idea how long they were going to take to pass. I soon learned that they would pass, even though I didn't think they would. And I just kept ramping up the CBD. You know, uh, it did help relax. It did help relax me. It did help tone down the anxiety. But after nearly a year post surgery, I realized that there was something else going on. And I don't know how long I followed Denise on Facebook. I'm thinking I might have started following her as soon as last January, February. And the only thing that I noticed really was I liked her posts. She was always upbeat, and I just liked, the stuff she was putting up. And and then during the shutdown, I had about 8 weeks here where I didn't work. and I got into Facebook quite a bit, and I started noticing her a little bit more. And then all of a sudden, she posted, I think, on her personal page that she was going to do uh, We Are Navon, the page, where you get people to come in and just view the live with the potential that all you have to do is um, tag her as you're her guest, and lo and behold, I won the CBD that night. That was the product that she you know, was promoting. And from there, we just kind of gravitated into telephone conversations and we started talking a lot and we had a lot of common ground there. And just like me, something was going on and I was going to figure it out. I was determined I was going to figure this out because the way I was living my life was not the way I wanted to continue living it. I knew that much. And actually, it was pretty frightening. And the alternative, going back to the medical establishment, that didn't seem like the thing I wanted to do. The doctor that done the surgery on me, he was 90% positive and certain that once all of that was out, that I would be feeling really a lot better than I'd felt in a long time in 3 to 4 weeks because all this mass was pressing up against my bowel and my lower intestine. And he said, undoubtedly, that's, you know, some of your pain or a lot of it. It was some of it. But I discovered 4 months later it wasn't at all because I was still dealing with it. So just after talking to Denise, I finally, I didn't financially, I wasn't really in a place to even make that jump. But it didn't take me very long to think about it. Is you want to do this or do you want to do this? And I finally decided, I'm going to find a way. So I did it. And I've been here since about the middle of October. And I've noticed that anytime that I needed to replenish my supply, somehow God comes through and I find a way. I find a way to do it. And I have gained a couple of members in the month of December. One of them is still on the fence about even trying the product, but she says if I try it and I like it, yeah, I would consider doing that. And the other gentleman he's a little bit technologically challenged, but he's definitely happy with the product so far. And he said, I haven't had a really big story to tell like you do, but he said, I can tell after 10 days or so of being on it, I just feel better. I feel lighter. When I get up in the morning, my chest doesn't feel as heavy. I just feel like I have more energy. So, I know it's doing something for me. So, just like I'm here on as many of these as I can get on. Other trainings, I try to do as many as I can a week. And I can tell you that this is an incredible group of people to be involved with, whether it's just our private team here or whether it's other teams. Um, there's everybody's just including everybody here. And there's no sense of competition, which I love. Everybody is willing to do whatever they can to help one another. And that, I think, is the most refreshing thing I've seen in a long time. I'm
What
dumbfounded
ab-
for a subject.
what about you? So what have you noticed since you've been detoxing? Like those stomach issues are like, are
I've
they better
noticed
now?
I've noticed when I try to slack off and do the maintenance dose for a week or two,
Hmm.
these issues begin to come back again. So I haven't really found my routine.
Well,
I
I think you're still new in it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, think about it. Like, it's a lifetime of who knows what, like that we've been putting in our bodies and things like that. So I do believe like at some point hopefully you'll be able to cut back and be okay. Like you just never know how long, you know, what kind of stuff we've, like I think about that, all the years that I didn't know, and I was using products that weren't great, or, foods that you eat, you never know what the chemicals, all kinds of things, pesticides, whatever it is that is, I've even actually known people that have passed parasites with, which is pretty gross, but hey, I would rather have them out than in, let me tell you that. um, but yeah, and also your mom, you said that your mom, can you want to share a little bit about your mom using the products?
Today she has been, but we're having a really kind of a nasty winter day here. We've got a wind that is blowing about 40 miles an hour, and we've got about 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground.
Oh, wow.
And she's not a winter person, so she's kind of hibernated today. But up until today, she's been much more alert. Um,
And now you said she had a stroke.
yes, she had a mild stroke in the summer of 2019, and I mean, mostly she's having emotional outbursts. There's depression going on. Um, she has a sense of confusion. She will walk up to a wall calendar and she'll look at it for a long time, and then she'll ask me, she goes, "What day is today?" I said,
Oh,
do you know what month it is? Do you know what time of the month it is? What day of the week it is? She'll study it for a while, and then she'll just, no, I know it's Thursday. And I said, yeah, that part is right. Do you know what day it is? No, she'll just, no. But she's only been on it now for 12 days, and I can't get 40 drops a day in her, but we're doing good to get 30 drops a day. And
that's good.
I'm giving her minerals every time she takes a dose. So she's taking about 15 drops of the minerals a day.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to hear her improvement too, because I'm sure that's going to keep happening too. The longer she's on it, it's really, that's what I think is really exciting. Just hearing about all the different lives that have been changed, and all the different stories. Like I love reading in our testimonial group. I love reading all the different stories of all the different people, all the lives that have been impacted. It's just amazing. So I just feel like if, you know, if you're on this call, if this is, something you've been thinking about, just wondering if you need a sign, I hope you take this as one, because, and take that plunge. Sometimes I was skeptical. Let me just tell you that I was super skeptical when I first started with CBD. Like I said, I was on that regimen of Aleve and Tylenol, and that's how I got through my day. I have been on heavier duty pain meds, but I know I didn't want to go down that road. But I went off of everything. Like I went off of everything to give it the real deal test. Like I wanted to know for sure. And I'll tell you, I have not touched anything in it'll be, I guess it's coming up on 4 years. I think it's 4 years. Yeah. Or 3 years. I don't even know anymore. I just know that I feel better, and I feel, like when I think back to how I felt before I started and how I feel today, it's night and day difference. I wouldn't even want to go back to that place. I just would not want to go back to that place in my life. And, I just urge you, if this is something that you're thinking about, like Brenda said, just make it happen. And whoever invited you here, like you get all of us then too, like you get all of our team. And, there's very easy ways to recoup your money. You don't, you can have health, you can have wealth, and you can have both. So it's like I say, I feel like it's the perfect package. So I just urge you, to take a peek and just see. You can get more details on the comp plan, which like I said, is very lucrative here. It's very simple. That's what I tell people too. Like, there's no big hoops and loops and jumps and this and that you have to go through to get paid. Like, you can literally use your referral link and get paid. Like, you don't have to meet any kind of crazy qualifications or anything like that. So I love that too, because I even tell that to people who are basically just want to be customers. Like, I had a girl today that bought a package and she was like, does that mean that I have to sell it now? And I'm like, You don't have to sell it. But when you start loving the products and you want to tell people, just use your link and you'll get paid. There's nothing you have to do other than share your link. It's literally that simple. So I don't know any other company that makes it that easy, to do it, So anyway, I don't know, Brenda, did you have anything else that you wanted to share, or?
I really can't think of anything at this moment.
Okay, well, I really appreciate you coming on tonight. I appreciate everybody who took the time out tonight to share or to listen to us share our stories. I hope that you make the decision to join, because you won't regret it. I mean, there's literally no reason to think you're going to go wrong. You're just going to improve your life. So anyway, I guess that's all I got. So I hope to see you soon. All right. Thank you. Good night.